An Anglican priest in Barbados comes out in support of the LGBT community and their desire to have same rights as heterosexual couples. And in sport, rain delays the start of the second day's play in the opening test between West Indies and Sri Lanka. I'm Dawn Paris, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Thursday, June 7th. I'll be back with the details after the break. A priest in Barbados has come out in support of members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender, the LGBT community, and their desire to have same rights as heterosexual couples. Anglican priest Noel Burke's public support came 3 days after 3 LGBT activists stated their intention to go to the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights to challenge the country's buggery laws. Burke says he believes that members of the LGBT community have every right to go to the IACHR to put their case forward and to be heard. He added that it is a need to ensure that no human being is discriminated against on the basis of their gender or sexual orientation. The Barbadians are challenging sections 9 and 12 of the island's constitution, which deal with buggery and serious indecency. Barbados' largest public sector union, the National Union of Public Workers, has accepted a significantly reduced offer of 4.5% increase over 3 years, and that's for salaries for public workers. The NUPW, which had been at loggerheads with the Fundo Stewart-led administration for more than a year in support of its demands for a double-digit pay hike, made a major about-turn on the issue. After a meeting with the new government, the union approved the single-digit salary offer, with only one council member abstaining and all others voting in favor of the proposed hike. It will entail 2% in the first year, 1.5% in the second, and 1% in the third for the 2016 to 2019 negotiating period. At the same time, the NUPW has no intention of relinquishing outstanding back pay covering the period 2011 to 2016. But the president of the union, Akani McDowell, said there would be certain conditionalities attached to the wage increase, which amounts to a major step down by the union from its pre-election pay demands. He says he does not want to disclose any more information until both parties make a final decision. It was last December that the then Stewart-led government had offered the union a $49 million lump sum payment that would have seen civil servants at the higher end of the salary scale receiving a 2% payment for 1 year, and those at the lower end a 5% hike based on a sliding scale. But the proposal did not sit well with the NUPW's executive, which said the payments would have amounted to less than 2,500 Barbados dollars per worker. This gave rise to demands by the union for $11 million more. Over in Antigua and Barbuda, the opposition leader Harold Lovell is urging citizens to take to the streets this afternoon to express dissatisfaction with the government's handling of several controversial issues. Lovell says the Gaston Brown-led administration is failing to adequately address issues such as the recent passport scandal, in which Assistant Superintendent of Police Ray Anthony John and his mother Yvonne Nicky were charged with 5 counts of conspiracy to forge Antigua and Barbuda passports. John has since been suspended from duty. Lovell says other issues of concern include police incompetence and the government's relationship with PV Energy, a company owned by British billionaire Peter Verdi and his associate, both of whom, it was revealed in recent court matters, had discussed alleged bribery dealing with Caribbean politicians. Verdi is wanted in Germany for alleged tax evasion. Lovell said that his party will seek to get these issues addressed through every legal means available, including making inquiries to the Integrity Commission, marches, and the court system. The march is expected to begin today at 3 p.m. at the Antigua and Barbuda Workers' Union headquarters on Newgate Street, and Lovell is calling on protesters to wear white. The Jamaica government says it will unveil a comprehensive anti-crime plan next week. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the plan will be unveiled during his presentation in the sectoral debate in Parliament early next week. The country has recorded approximately 200 murders so far this year, despite the continuation of the zones of special operations in known crime hotspots across the country. In March, Prime Minister Andrew Holness told Parliament that the government would soon disclose its crime plan, but there needed to be a bipartisan support, adding that opposition spokesman on national security Fitz Jackson had already attended a National Security Council meeting. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Calcutta remained the capital of British India until 1911. In this city of Victorian era, and in various other parts of Bengal, during the Second World War, occurred one of the most horrific and least known episodes of India's history. The entire region suffered a terrible famine.
For the fourth week running, Sting and Shaggy remains on top the Billboard Reggae album chart with their collaborative effort 44876. The album has now hit the 20,000 mark. Meanwhile, New Zealand reggae fusion band Sons of Zion makes its debut on the chart when the group's third album Vantage Point enters at number 9. And Damian Marley moves up to number 2 with his long-charting Grammy-winning album Stony Hill.
A look at sports now. Wicketkeeper Shane Dulwich completed his 6th Test half-century, but rain wrecked the opening session on the second day of the first Test against Sri Lanka. In the 9 overs and 1 ball allowed, West Indies progressed from 246 for 6 to 268 without further loss, with Dulwich reaching an unbeaten 57. He has so far faced 164 deliveries and counted 7 fours. Resuming on 46 following a delayed start of 50 minutes because of rain at Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad, Dulwich brought up his landmark off the 3rd ball of the morning when he pulled speedster Suranga Lakmal to the mid-wicket boundary. He was finding his best touch when the rains arrived again with only 40 minutes play completed, ending play before the scheduled interval. On yesterday's opening day, several West Indies batsmen got starts, but none carried on to a half-century, with Shea Hope scoring 45, Captain Jason Holder getting 40, and Roston Chase and Kieran Powell both hitting 38. After the day's play, Hope said the Queen's Park Oval pitch did not allow batsmen the luxury of ever feeling quite settled. He said the pitch had been a bit too paced.
It was a bit up and down. Some of the balls were kicking, some were staying down, so as a batsman you need to apply yourself in those types of wickets. Sometimes you don't feel you're ever quite in, but application is the key.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again this evening at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.